know your rights as a protester? Picture this. It's a bright sunny day, and you're standing shoulder to shoulder with your fellow citizens. You're all there for the same reason, to make your voices heard, to protest for a cause you passionately believe in. But amidst the chants and the placards, do you know where you stand legally? Understanding your rights as a protester is as crucial as the cause you're fighting for. Your rights are strongest in traditional public forums, the streets, sidewalks, and parks. You can also speak out on other public properties, like plazas in front of government buildings, as long as you're not blocking access or interfering with the property's intended purposes. But what about private property? Well, the rules change here. The owners of private property can set their own rules for speech on their property. If you're on your own property or have the consent of the property owner, the government cannot restrict your speech. Now, consider this. Another group of people has shown up. They're counter-protesters, and guess what? They have free speech rights too. Police have to treat protesters and counter-protesters equally. They can keep antagonistic groups separated, but they should allow them to be within sight and sound of each other. And what about photographing or recording the event? When you're lawfully present in any public space, you have the right to photograph anything in plain view, including federal buildings and the police. On private property, however, the owner can set rules related to photography or video. So, you're marching in the streets or on sidewalks. Do you need a permit? Not as long as you're not obstructing car or pedestrian traffic. If you don't have a permit, police officers can ask you to move to the side of a street or sidewalk to let others pass, or for safety reasons. Now let's imagine a scenario where you believe your rights have been violated. Write down everything you remember, including officer's badge and patrol car numbers, and the agency they work for. Get contact information for witnesses and take photographs of any injuries. With this information, you can file a written complaint with the agency's Internal Affairs Division or Civilian Complaint Board. But what happens if the police issue an order to disperse the protest? Shutting down a protest through a dispersal order should be law enforcement's last resort. They can't break up a gathering unless there's a clear and present danger of riot, disorder, interference with traffic, or another immediate threat to public safety. If officers issue a dispersal order, they must provide a reasonable opportunity to comply, including sufficient time and a clear, unobstructed exit path. So what do you do if you're stopped or detained for taking photographs? Always remain calm and never physically resist a police officer. They can't detain you without reasonable suspicion that you have or are about to commit a crime. If you're stopped, ask the officer if you're free to leave. If the answer is yes, calmly walk away. If you're detained, ask the officer what crime you're suspected of committing and remind them that taking photographs is your right under the First Amendment and doesn't constitute reasonable suspicion of criminal activity. And if you're stopped by the police while protesting, stay calm. Make sure to keep your hands visible. Don't argue, resist, or obstruct the police, even if you believe they're violating your rights. Ask if you're free to leave. If the officer says yes, calmly walk away. If you're under arrest, you have a right to ask why. Otherwise, say you wish to remain silent and ask for a lawyer immediately. Knowledge is power, and knowing your rights as a protester is a powerful tool. So, the next time you're standing up for what you believe in, remember these guidelines. They're not just words on paper, they're your armor in the face of adversity.